It's time for Gardening Inside Out, a live show offering you plant advice for any space in your life. Introducing your perennial hosts, David Bates and Josh Carey.
Hey, and welcome in, everybody. It's Saturday morning. It's time for Gardening Inside Out, coming to you from the palatial Green Room Studios here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. I like to call it Earth Mix TV on Saturday morning. How about that?
That's appropriate.
Okay.
It does fit.
We're here for you, though.
Yeah,
folks.
we're here. And, this is we're going through the time of year that everybody else is going through. It's called vacation. So, occasionally scheduling creates situations where we have to juggle. I mean, you and I know something about that. After 18 years of broadcasting on the radio together every Saturday, on occasion, one of us would be unavailable. It was very rare. I think we both went for more than 5 years straight
without
missing a show. But so we've got
it was more like 23 years we did that.
In total, yes. That was just at WTN where we did 18 straight. So anyway, we did 18 years.
Yeah, we did. We
hard time.
Yes, we did.
Anyway, so we're glad to be here today and glad to have you all in. And we're going to start off, per usual, talking about the weather. And
it's glorious.
Today is the 18th of July. It's getting on past us, and it's going to be more sunny and a little warmer today, 93 degrees. We're going to have some 90s for the next few days. That's not a bad thing. It is July, after all. Partly cloudy conditions, a slight chance of rainfall near midnight as we roll into tomorrow. 90 for the high, and some afternoon thunderstorms. And those are pretty typical for this time of year. It's just, you got as much moisture that is in the atmosphere. They just seem to pop up out of nowhere. We'll kind of give some analysis of around the area, how much differentiation there is between rainfall amounts momentarily. Monday, 92-75, and again, a slight chance of afternoon thunderstorms. But the amounts that the shows here are not necessarily reflective. You could get a whole lot more or nothing at all. On Tuesday, where it's partly cloudy, maybe a quarter of an inch. So,
maybe.
I'm not sure how the algorithms or the computer things work in the weather world, but
it's raining in Texas, so that usually means we're going to get some rain.
My goodness, they have had some rain. Our thoughts are with those folks, certainly. On Wednesday, throughout the rest of the week, things cool off a bit. 87, 66. So we get down both our maximum temperatures and our minimum temperatures go down. Thursday, 84, 65, and Friday, 88, 71. So, all in all, a pretty good forecast for what we've got ahead. The radar you will see here, it gives some things out just west of Chattanooga. But other than that, there's really little rainfall, a couple little spots up on the plateau and maybe up in Kentucky. Not a whole lot out there today. Our 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook looks like we're going to be slightly above average and not that much. It's fairly uneventful. I think probably the area in Texas that's showing below average is hoping that is accurate because they have been so far above. I mean, Josh, do you remember how much they got, like a foot
and that's like 2 years in a row that we're getting slammed like this. 3 years in a row.
So hopefully those folks are able to. I mean, certainly not from lack of experience. They know how to deal with it, but gosh, you never want to have to. Okay, a precept for here at Bates Nursery. We've had 6,700s this week. Almost 5 3/4 for the month to this date. Now I'll switch quickly to my station at home where that we got 4,400 yesterday. We got nothing here yesterday at all. And we're up to nearly 6 inches there, so a little more there. I talked with my brother Mark, who lives in Brentwood. Now, he's received
Quite a bit.
over like 8.25 inches. So
And it all comes east to Smyrna.
So-
I mean, we're swamped.
So there is that. So and 76.1 if you're in town. If you're out in the outlying areas like we are here at Bates Nursery, it's 81 here.
Yes,
so
it is.
So normally it's not hot around here, but this morning it is. So
Muggy.
we are grateful to have you all in this morning.
Yes.
And rocking into summer.
Rocking.
Yeah, we're just rocking.
Next week will be it'll be 6 months till Christmas.
Wow. Just think about it. And it's, I guess it will be 6 months from the last Christmas also.
That's deep.
Yes. Well, that means your time and opportunities are getting limited for Christmas shopping. So just be mindful of that. But we're really glad to have everyone in today. And that includes Caroline Gant. Good morning, Caroline.
Good morning.
And we also have Tyler Blankenship.
Wow, look at there.
Tyler's at the table.
Flat Tyler.
He has piped himself in, and we're glad to have him. So
You're stuck in like a TV.
yeah, he's not looking very two-dimensional.
You remember the old
I'm in the
cards that the
box.
grandkids used to make where they would make the picture of grandma and grandpa and then they would have to, people would have to send them all around the world. We got
Vaguely.
flat grandma, flat grandpa,
Okay.
flat Tyler. So you can go around.
Well, we're glad
Here
to
I
have
am.
all aboard this morning. And as I understand it in leading, Caroline, I'm going to let you talk about, and both you guys, about what's going on this week. We do understand we have a plethora of questions out there.
We
this
do have
morning.
quite a few questions and a lot of photos this morning. Y'all
Very
sent
good.
us so many images that we'll get to take a look
Yeah.
at a
Well,
little bit later in
and
the
that's
broadcast.
wonderful. We really appreciate all the
Yes.
interaction. So without further ado, what you guys got? Anything in particular? I know Tyler and I have been dealing with some, which just seems to have nothing to do horticulturally, but we've been dealing with some IT upgrades and networking, and
That's right.
we had a good meeting with Ken Sanderson, who is our, when you got a guy like Ken, it makes. And Tyler and I both have some skills, but Ken's at that level that's like many steps above. As
I'm playing
He's
follow
Shel-
the
yeah.
leader.
Yeah,
Right.
he's the Sheldon to your guys.
well, I
Kuthar
mean,
Pali,
yeah,
is that what you're saying?
you don't get to be the director of IT at Country Music Association for many years because you have no game. He's got game, so we're fortunate.
You got game.
We're very
Absolutely.
fortunate to have Ken, very much the director of all of these things that you may have seen some cabling up above and around. Hopefully, not too much, but you, Tyler and Ken, are going to be installing our network that will give our customers much greater access to wireless while they're here on site.
Yeah, we're
And
gonna have guest Wi-Fi for the first time.
Wi-Fi?
So if
Free Wi-Fi?
yeah.
Wow.
So if you need to look things up, it's gonna be a lot easier.
So anyway, we got that going on, and then we got all the stuff that you would expect us to have going on. It's like containers and plants, and working towards that. We poured. I don't know if you've been down and inspected the concrete work that happened this past week, Caroline, but
I've seen it from a distance.
and
well, you've got final sign-off, I'm sure.
and,
I do, yeah.
and we've got one final connecting piece to get done here in the next couple of weeks, and we're looking forward to having that where we have a continuous path all the way down to the sold areas. It also will encircle the tree lot.
Circumnavigate the
Yes.
tree lot?
So we'll have
Wow.
a very nice smooth transition all the way around, and then as you purchase things to pick up in the future, it gives us a much greater access to this concrete pad that gives us better access to the sold area, so to kind of protect your things
Yes.
until you are able to receive shipment of them or come pick them up. So
And speaking of that, and just concrete, we're concreting an area where we're going to have our new pottery barn, which is exciting. But we did put out new large pots the other day. So if you're looking for big terracotta, we did get a little bit more in. So we'll have that out on the lot when you come in and visit.
Well, I know you have to have some level of excitement. I know you do.
About pottery? Always.
About what the possibilities for our future display is going to be. When we get these
there's some really pretty white, two-tone white.
We got those
right
too.
Up there, that's front of
well, once we get our shelves in place, which we going to procure some wood from Crosland Builder Supply to achieve.
You call, we haul, you all.
Yeah, so we're gonna be working on that here coming up, and then that's going to provide the opportunity for Caroline to display her wares, and we're going to be able to greatly expand the amount of pottery that we have had in the past. So if you haven't found in the past what you're looking for, I bet you by spring we're going to have what you're looking for.
How about Pottery Plaza instead of Pottery Barn? Because I think that one's already used.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Pottery Depot?
We'll
figure it out.
We're just probably going
Tunnel?
to call it.
Huh?
Ooh, I like Pottery Tunnel. That's fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe it
Pottery Grotto.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Pottery Zone.
Pottery Zone. There's so many different things that we can call it, but it is very exciting. We'll get to have most of our big pots in one area now. So instead of having to just walk around and kind of find stuff, you'll be able to search everything in one covered spot with some nice freshly laid concrete.
Yep.
But are we ready to get to questions?
We are.
Because we're already getting some
Go
live ones
for it.
in.
Okay.
Our first one comes in from Cindy. Cindy says, new rose mom here. My roses are in large pots and I'm having black spot and fungus issues. With the humidity, should I back off on watering? The pots do have drainage holes. Then Cindy, you did say I've treated with, and then it's
stopped.
blank. So what should she do with that though?
Cindy, first thing, we're going to make sure, and again, take this from experience, make sure that those holes are actually functioning.
Yeah, and it's a good idea. Even if you have holes in the bottom of a container, I know
Set 'em
Caroline
up
probably preaches this regularly. If you ever have a broken pot, taking some of those broken pieces of pottery and inverting them over the top of the hole, and maybe putting some, before you start putting soil in, goes a long way to help making sure that hole does not get stopped up with soil over the
Absolutely.
course of time. So I've seen people use, crushed beer cans or all kinds of stuff.
Aluminum screen
water
wire
bottles, yeah.
works good.
What do you do at your casa?
I do the broken pots because I have tons of pottery and I drop things a lot. I have a lot of animals. They knock things
Clutch.
over. And so I feel bad throwing it away. So that's typically what I do. Crushed up water bottles work because they're light if you have a big pot that you're putting stuff into that you might have to be, moving in and out of your house or just moving where it is. So it doesn't really make
Plastic
it any
water
heavier.
bottles. Huh.
Plastic water
Yeah,
bottles.
just scrunch them
empty
down
ones.
and put the cap back on it, and it'll stay that
And
size.
fill it up in the bottom. But
I
yeah, there's a lot of
use-
things you can do.
Pine fines. I used a lot of pine fines. I'm okay with the settling, but it really helps with the drainage on the bottom.
I take
And
a
if
little,
it's an area you're going to replant every year anyway, it's a really good option.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a more permanent planting, you may find that it's the next year it's going to be a few inches lower than it was that year. So
Yeah. In the container, I also use some rocks on the bottom, but they're generally outdoor containers, and I don't plan to move them around very much.
Right.
and I do elevate mine when they're on concrete. Like on the ones that are on my front steps, I elevate them just a little bit so you can allow
Well,
that water to
and plants
evacuate out.
want to feel elevated.
They
You know,
do.
They need a little
We
positive.
put them on the
re-
top step this year,
and,
David,
and probably the one thing that's if you could even use large gravel in the bottom, but using a piece of soil barrier fabric on top of that to keep it from infiltrating the pore space in the gravel is really good idea before you put your soil in. So there's a lot of ways to address that.
There are. And, roses here in Middle Tennessee are just tricky. I have 3 knockout roses in pots, and they do all have black spot just from getting water on the leaves here and causing that issue. So
We've had a lot of rain.
we've had a lot of rain. And speaking of rain, we did get a question about all the rain. Worried that all of this rain could be too much for the perennials I just planted. Is that crazy?
Nope.
I think it kind of depends on what you've planted and where. I mean, I'm excited about all this rain because I did just plant a bunch of stuff, but it's in areas that have good runoff, so it drains pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you've done your soil preparation correctly, number one, there's really nothing you can do about the precipitation in the too much category. So if you've done proper soil preparation that allows it to perk properly, then you have alleviated many of those problems on the front end. If it's dry, of course, you will need to be mindful of because watering more. But
with our project that we did this spring at the proving grounds, I have some areas where I've got 2 conifers that I'm very concerned about being a little bit too wet. So
that can be tricky. Oh no,
so,
I think they'll be okay.
It's just an opportunity
To worry?
No, to replace them if we have to. I don't.
Hopefully you won't have to.
I don't think you'll have to replace them.
I know a place now.
One of them is Tyler, isn't it?
No. He's fine. He's fine. Tyler's out there on the end. He's got plenty.
Josh gives all of his plants personal names.
Yes.
So.
Which makes sense. I do with some of mine, but I have so many. There's no way I would ever remember all of it.
I can't remember everybody that I know's name most of the time.
Use that to help reinforce. Oh, yeah, Tyler. Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Are we ready for another question?
Sure.
Let's go for it.
How do I get my Shamrock Inkberry Holly to become fuller at the bottom?
Oh, no.
The perpetual problem with those, and the trait that they exhibit most frequently above all others is defoliation around the base of it. So if you're going to make it thick at the bottom again, then you're going to be required to cut it back rather severely. Now, at this point, I'm not sure I would. You could, and it will flush back out. You've got time to do that. Probably the better time to do it is, at middle to late February. Cut it back as severely as you like. When it pushes out new growth at that point, it will be really thick at the bottom until it's not. So, they are, some of the newer cultivars are better at hanging on to those lower leaves, but as a species, they really struggle with that.
Is it a columnar? I'm
they're just big and bushy.
Okay.
They're big and bushy, and generally, you just kind of need, if you're going to use those and they're a good plant,
They are.
You need to be okay with kind of the semi-tree form look, because you're going to see stems.
Yep.
We've got them at our house, and we're not. We don't get an exemption because we're in the industry.
No, not at all.
Definitely not. I'd say we get more issues because we are somehow.
I think so.
I don't
Yes.
know. Tyler, you look like you're saying something in your little box.
Well, I'm just nodding along. I mean, a plant's place is definitely in its environment, in the ground. And so we're doing our best to keep them looking the best that they can while they're on asphalt out here in containers waiting for a home. So
I just meant us at our houses.
Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't mean here at the nursery.
I'm just lost in my own thought train now.
I think it's because we experiment with, or at least for me, I bring home so many plants and experiment with so many things that then, of course, you're going to have
And
more
in fairness
problems.
to Tyler, he's being asked to
He's
juggle
doing a
couple.
lot right now.
He's being recognized. Pam sees that he's multitasking.
Thanks,
kid.
A
Pam.
lot of
Yes.
folks are loving Tyler in a box over here.
It's kind of like the old days where I was kind of doing stuff but not really talking very much, but I was still on camera.
Oh, yeah, you
If
used
were
to be like right here
He
in the
was
where
on
room.
you were
end.
sitting.
Yep.
Wow, you're back to where you were.
Well,
I'm
I think
back here now.
I think we got time for one more question before the first little break
I
here.
think you're right. Let's go into a hydrangea question. Why, after going on 2 years, hydrangea's not blooming? Only 1 of 3 had a bloom. Sounds
Trimming
like you
issue?
could have like a macrophylla, which I have 1 of those and mine rarely blooms.
Yeah, and macrophylla are not the reliable bloom producers that other cultivars are.
Like an
And,
eclipse.
Well,
You have
I
some
mean,
feelings about eclipse,
Yeah.
don't you, Josh?
I love
and,
it. It's gorgeous.
Fertilization's important. Getting them in the right spot, of course, is very important. And if you've and they on years that, let me put it this way: when we receive them in, the professional growers know how to give them the exact conditions and the trimming schedule and the fertilization to get them to set bud and be in bloom. So when you come in here, you're gonna in the springtime, you're gonna almost always find them in bloom because
They do that
people
on
who
purpose.
grow plants professionally use some tricks.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that they won't flower at your house. It just means that we have an unfair advantage in the industry because we're
Perfect
incentivized
conditions,
because
yes.
we want to sell them. So, not having a lot of flowers 1 year or two, it's not all that strange.
But when you get them, it makes it that much more special because this is the third year that we've had the eclipse. I think it was introduced out during the eclipse. I think we actually got them. I had blooms this year.
See, this year mine did not bloom or
Yeah,
hasn't,
wow.
and I don't think it's going to. It bloomed last year.
Wow.
Well,
I'm
if you want to
jealous
give
now.
your plants, be it hydrangea or
Whatever.
the best opportunity for the most productive and flower producing growth, consider using Earth Mix garden product.
No, do it.
And Earth Mix is unlike pretty much any other media that's available. It is like everybody claims anymore, 100% organic.
Yep.
And we're not the exception to that. But what Earth Mix is, it's viable. And I talk to a lot of people who say, well, I was out at a box store and I needed to pick up something and I planted some stuff in it. And you've got a next door neighbor test
Yes.
that's going on. And you see the dramatic difference that having the right soil makes. And in Earth Mix garden products, it all starts with Supernatural, which is our compost that we produce. And it has all the best stuff in it to make the most productive growth possible. And it will very nearly ensure it. When you use all the best inputs, and unlike other compost, it's not just whatever is available. We use the same amounts of the same carefully selected inputs on every batch, and those things include things like earthworm castings, mushroom compost. We use turkey pellets.
Really?
Yes, and if you don't know what turkey pellets are, they're turkey pellets. It's compressed turkey litter and manure. So when you use those things in conjunction with endo and ecto mycorrhizal
Who came up with
fungi,
that machine? Oh,
well, I don't know.
Okay.
They thought about it a
it's
while.
good stuff, though.
The turkey pellets are introduced in there to add fertility and also as the nitrogen source.
Yes.
Because when you compost things, this process known as nitrogen fixation must necessarily occur, and the nitrogen has to come from somewhere. That's what we use to introduce nitrogen into it. And the end result, when you put all those things, plus humic acid and biochar, that is Nashville hot biochar, by the way.
Ooh, yes, it is.
Tyler's been getting creative on some of our new bags that are going to be coming out. You get a combination of ingredients that's unlike any other. And better than just that, Supernatural is an input, a key input in several other products downstream. So you get all those benefits, whether you're getting garden or Proganics O or landscape, those all have Supernatural in them as well. So, we're here to help you take the guesswork out of gardening. Now, let me go over here to the Find Earth Mix tab. You can find Earth Mix very readily all over the tri-state area, I'll call it here, Tennessee, Kentucky, Northern Alabama, and we try to always give a shout out to Rocky Mountain Trees and Landscaping. I'm actually going to be paying them a visit. I'm going to miss next week, Josh, just so I can get to see these fine folks, and we really appreciate their.
Bring me a pebble.
Well,
Okay.
they've probably got some.
Yeah,
So anyway, you can either hover over a little pin there or put your address in for turn-by-turn directions to the location nearest you. Remember this. Success in gardening begins at the ground level when you use Earth Mix garden products. And Josh, what is it you like to say?
Well, I love to say, and you mentioned my neighbor. You know what he said?
What does he say?
He said, I'm going to have to use some of that magic dirt next year because it takes 4 things to have a happy garden or landscape.
You expected your wine to
I
go.
did expect it to happen, but it didn't happen. Okay.
You have to say the 4 words.
Okay, the 4 words are you got to have water, sunshine,
Yes.
plants, and earth mix. It's not magic, it's just earth mix.
Yeah.
It
But
is magic,
I mean,
though.
don't get me wrong, his plants look great. They're beautiful foliage, growing tall. No tomatoes.
Well,
No maters.
consider what you're planting them in,
Yeah.
no matter what it is.
Might be
Before
that
you
Lowe's
plant.
bucket that he's got one of them in, but I don't know.
Could
Better
be.
than the orange box. though.
All right, we're ready to transition to the next phase of our program. And
Following up on the hydrangea question, there are some reblooming macrophylla hydrangeas like Twist and Shout. I just realized I didn't switch over.
there you go.
Thank you. There's some reblooming hydrangeas in the Endless Summer collection that you might want to check out. So that way you can at least get one bloom.
That's right. And
Out of the
Joyce
year.
says plant quickfire and prune in late winter. Very reliable on that note.
I love
and
quickfire.
Pam also got in here. It's been a minute since we've heard from you, Pam. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning, Pam.
Good
Pam
morning.
says all of my different hydrangea varieties are stunning this year. I'll send pics next week, except the eclipse.
Yep.
So she's in the same boat as I am. I mean, the leaves on
Beautiful.
mine are gorgeous.
Yeah.
They're dark. They're almost black. But for me, no blooms yet.
Fortunately, they do have great foliage.
Yes.
They do. Yes, they do.
If it didn't,
Tyler,
it would be in
blush.
the woods.
can we get to Jasmine's photos?
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and bring them up.
So we're going to do a set of photos now because we did get a lot. So we got an email from Jasmine. Jasmine says, "Hi all. I always appreciate listening to the show and visiting Bates. It's my happy place. I'm new to gardening and I have questions. Question 1. I am growing a cherry tomato plant and I've noticed this yellow and brown discoloration. It started at the lower leaves and is slowly moving up the plant. Is it a virus? How should I treat this?"
Don't eat that part.
Yeah, it's
Absolutely.
it's
don't eat
being
that
a
part.
tomato.
Yes.
You know, and Josh, you were sharing while we were off air that you had cherry tomatoes that, well, you were away for a few days, and this planter didn't get watered, and you still got fruit all over it, but you lost most of your foliage.
Most of the foliage.
So you're not going to pull it up because of that, are
Not
you?
yet.
Yeah, it probably will even begin to refoliate with proper care.
How many did you plant, dear? Because one is enough to feed an army.
It really is.
Absolutely.
but
So-
it also sets you up for a higher chance of failure if you only have the one.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I usually plant like 8 cherry tomatoes because I love them.
And you also have to look out for things like early blight. And typically, when you plant tomatoes, you'll want to remove a lot of the lower
Lower stuff.
leaves
Yeah.
so they don't touch the soil, because when you water them or when we get these huge downpours and rainfalls, it can cause fungal issues that will creep up the tomato plant. Now, you'll see it browning from the bottom up in that case.
Now, I will say my personal favorite amongst the salad type tomatoes is the yellow pear. I think those with cherry tomatoes, they're just beautiful when
Yes.
you got a bowl full of them. And
Yeah.
they're very nice little.
Little cucumber in
Oh,
there with it, too.
they're awesome. So
They have a great appearance.
Now, and again, I do mine a little different. I don't have enough space for 8 of them.
well,
It's
I don't.
We're not saying you need more than that.
Good Lord.
I
I
think-
just tried it with one, and my failure rate is pretty high.
Yeah, I think most.
Tyler's tomato
I think
drama.
most normal people would not plant 8, but you know.
I need all 8 of those.
Do you
Okay.
really? Because I grow mine in a container every year. It doesn't go in the ground.
Yeah, I've got
Every-
mine in raised
And the
beds,
great
which
thing
is
about
nice 'cause they
growing a
just spill
tomato in a
over.
container, if you can keep it watered, is that any soil pathogens that might be an issue, if you're switching your soil out every year, you get completely around that, because it's if you plant tomatoes in the same spot every year, then you're statistically increasing the likelihood of there being some future pathogen in the soil. So look for alternate places to plant some or all of your
We're
plants,
gonna-
or
we're gonna-
rotate them around.
Yeah, we're going to completely redo the above ground garden this winter because it's time to move it. Some of the cedar is deteriorated after 7 years, folks. I mean
It's
that's
a long time.
yes, that's a good track record, and it's not gone, but it's time to move some things. And I'm just going to expand the area and take some pathways out. We're going to it's going to be a monster next year.
You're going to go wild. Hey, we've got a second part to this email. Question 2, my tomatoes are towering above my 7-foot post for my garden net. How do you manage indeterminate tomatoes? Last year, they just flopped and kept going. In the future, should I top them to keep them at a reasonable height?
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, they're
That's
going
how
to
you make them determinate.
Yeah, they're going to start growing back down and then back out and back up.
And hopefully some fruit on them will weigh them down a little bit
Yeah,
more.
I
too.
wouldn't top them personally. You know, usually with tomatoes, it's more about suckering, which is
Yes.
the growth that comes out near the base. So no, I wouldn't worry with that. And you've got that white net on there. There's no heat buildup appreciable. It's getting good light transmission. I would just let it go. Not worry about it.
One year, I tried to control my tomatoes by. Here we go.
I love this story.
I tried
Tyler's
by
new book, Controlling Tomatoes.
how different ways to fail at tomato growing is what I should write my book as. But I kept plucking off the sucker growth, and by doing that, I greatly reduced any other kind of
Bloomage.
fruit growth that I would get. So I got like hardly any tomatoes.
But
so
it was growing.
yes, it was growing.
Yes.
I thought
certainly
you were
grew
going
a
to talk
vine.
about, didn't you cage in your tomato, but you caged in a hornworm with it or something so
Oh,
that
Lord.
it ate?
That was another time. So make sure that all of the pests are kept out when you do. walk
50
your tomatoes
ways
in.
to fail at tomato production by
Jane,
Tyler
Jane
Blakey.
pipes in that she uses the Florida weave, which is a different way of not caging or staking.
Yes.
So it's
holding them
very-
up.
Look it
Yeah.
up.
Florida weave.
It's a good way to do it. All right, and then she did send one more photo for fun. Here's a picture of a chonky caterpillar I spotted having a feast on my dill. I was happy to share. Oh my gosh, that caterpillar looks so happy. Is
Fat and happy.
It smells like a pickle too. So
that heuchera in the background?
yeah,
By now, it's probably already into the chrysalis stage,
Oh, yeah, he's
hanging
flying.
around somewhere, getting ready to continue its journey.
I was about
Yellowtail,
to say
swallowtail. So
it's
swallow.
on Butterfly Highway now.
It is. All right, so let's get back into some questions. We'll talk bagworms. I've seen a bagworm rappelling down a big mature arborvitae tree. How to solve?
Grab
Pick it off.
right
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Get
Yeah,
that one.
and there's probably not just one.
Nope.
You need to be looking for many more. Each little cocoon from a bagworm can produce many hundreds, if not more than 1,000 eggs, and therefore the nymphs that crawl out of it. If you've got conifers, you need to be giving those really special attention. They are, as much as you can pick them,
Get them.
do it, and you'll think you've gotten them all. Turn your head sideways,
Which side?
either way,
Okay.
whichever way your neck works best.
Everybody do.
And for some reason, they start to jump out again. As far, you can see them. At least that's me. Maybe it doesn't work that way. Maybe because I've got, one eye that's not functional very well.
Oh, that could
but
be.
I think it happened before I had any of those issues. So
Preventative spraying is the best way to get rid of them.
it's a contrast thing, I believe. It's seeing it in a different plane. So
You can also notice the growth just starts thinning out, and that's when it's starting to get dire.
yes.
yes, if you waited that long, you've already waited too long.
We
So
were-
don't wait to see that sign. Start looking for them for future reference, and it is future now. Father's Day weekend is
Yep.
a great time to spray for bagworms because they're at the very little crawler stage, and they're really easy to control. But you got to get the insecticide into the pump up sprayer and spray them. So
It doesn't do anything
it
to
doesn't,
the bugs
it doesn't
inside
matter
the
how many
bottle.
jugs of it you've
Yeah.
got. If you don't spray it on, it does nothing. So
That's right.
be mindful of it, and it's a timing thing.
God, they're so weird. I've even seen them attach themselves to a brick house.
Yep.
They'll get on anything.
Light
They're wild.
poles.
Well, and that's
Cactus.
generally
I've seen them on
Cactus.
cactus.
I've seen them on hollies. That's generally an indication of they've kind of gotten crowded out. So you're
that
seeing
you have
them
a
on.
really bad problem.
Yeah, the problem is much worse than what you think.
Mailbox. Yeah.
Ew. Well, we got a comment from Jane Ann Gibbs, so we're going to go back around to tomatoes. She says, I also remove suckers from the indeterminate tomatoes, but have read not to do that to cherry tomatoes.
I
Is this
never have.
true?
I never have.
I never have on my cherry tomatoes.
Nah, I mean, the very nature, and to Tyler's point earlier, is that you want them to be bushy, you want them to be multi-stemmed, and you don't want them to be growing up over the top. So by not suckering them, you get much more of that vegetative growth from down low, which is a bushier plant, makes them easier to pick. Caroline, you probably get no shortage of experience at that with 8 of them.
Yes.
Oh, I'm picking them every day. It's great.
Yes.
And I put them in all my food at my
you
house.
could probably pick them morning and night.
And noon
and noon.
and
yeah.
midnight. But
I could just stay out there all day.
I had my first blooms off of something that was about 8 inches off the dirt this year. My first fruit was right
Very
there
nice.
on those.
It is.
The low hanging fruit.
Yeah, babe.
Way to go. Speaking of fruit, my blueberries didn't really give me any fruit this year. What's up with that? Mine were terrible this year. I got like 8 of my pink lemonade.
Yeah, and I don't know anything. I can't remember
Well, I know
the
mine had-
frost sequence that could have occurred. Blueberries are not a thing that's, from a flower standpoint, are extremely showy. So it could be that they got zapped by a late frost or freeze. We had some. I don't remember what. Usually, we're very mindful of the things here at the nursery that are, ornamental in nature only. So we might not have had that many blueberries on hand, or it might not have happened here at all. It could have been after they got into bloom at your house and they got zapped.
Yeah.
So
I had great fruit set on my Climax blueberry, but I did remember 1 or 2 occasions where I had to throw a bed sheet over it just to be safe, because I don't want to take any chances if I want my blueberries to do well. I didn't do much else than that, and I got a good fruit crop on that. Now, my pink lemonade suffered some pretty bad dieback, I think from drought last year, because it didn't rain, and then in winter the drought persisted for a little while until we finally started getting
and it was
some
very dry in
precipitation.
May as well.
And then it continued to be dry. So I would say some blueberries are in recovery mode right now, while my Climax did finish ripening, but of course the birds got to the fruit that was the most ripe before I
no.
did.
Birds.
Sad.
So I don't have a blueberry enclosure like I know some viewers of the show do and have built, and I hope to be there one day because I like blueberries.
Blueberries are great. I know mine bloomed and then got zapped by a late freeze. Jane Ann says my blueberry yield was poor too, Caroline. So I feel you. I feel all of you on that. So sad, so unfortunate. All right, let's talk some aphids.
On a happier note.
On a happier note, let's talk about cute little aphids. I have aphids on my burgundy ficus. If I put it outside, will that help with pest control? Yes, it will. I would say this is going to be one of the easiest things you can put outside and treat. One thing you can do, move it outside, hose it off, like shoot all those aphids all over the place, get them out of there. They are going to attract ladybugs. Ladybugs love to feed on aphids. So if you put it outside, chances are ladybugs will flock to your ficus and take care of that issue for you. So I would say, yes, go ahead and put it outside. Just don't stick it in the middle of your yard in full all day sun because it might get a little bit sunburnt.
A
this
single
time of
lady
year.
beetle can consume 50 or 60 aphids
It's
in
a
a day.
lot, yeah.
I mean, so if you could have an infestation of them and have a few lady beetles move in and they're clean within a couple of days. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like little nectarines
Skittles. Yeah.
for them. They just pop those things. They just go right down the line.
Cherry tomatoes.
Yeah. Happens on my citrus too, and I love watching that in the spring. It's really great.
It is wild. I actually watched a wasp eat a caterpillar on my windshield here the other day.
Cool.
I sat there and watched the whole thing. I got some video, but it's kind of gross, so I don't know if the viewers want to see that. But I couldn't look away. It ate it so fast. I didn't know they ate caterpillars. Did y'all?
Well, there you go.
Tyler's like, I did. I know everything.
No, I don't. I didn't say that.
They
All
lay
right,
their
we have a
eggs on 'em.
question about our website. How reliable is your website if I look there to see what all you have?
Let me tell you something. Mary Polo, who
She's on it.
She is, as far as the information, the back end of it, all the photography, she works all day, every day at it. Now, Toy, a newcomer somewhat. She's been here for what?
About a year now.
Yeah, about a
I think
year.
She started last.
That seems like
summer.
a newcomer to me after
Newbie.
my many years of being here. Toy works in the inventory side, and what that does is that helps ensure that our information is as complete and accurate as it can possibly be. When you combine that with point of sale inventory control, then we have a very high confidence at this time of year because we've had, at the probably when we're at our worst is as we approach the end of spring because we're so busy and we don't have time to go through and inventory everything.
Cycle counting is tough, folks.
So
with that.
we've gotten through all that process now. So our numbers should be correct at least from now until say
fall.
early spring.
Well, now, if someone were to place an order online, would they know before they came that there was a shortage? There was when they go to
Yes,
pull?
we say online, give 24 to 48 hours. Then we'll call you to confirm that we've either pulled all of your order or we don't have some of those items.
That's how much they have confidence in the website.
Yeah, and
folks.
speaking of online,
Yeah.
you're talking about BatesNursery.com.
Yes.
And if you go to the store feature that's on the second to the far left on the website, you get all of but it's broken down by categories. You can also just do the view all, and every different category comes up pictorially, and then you can simply select what it is that you're wanting to see. Let's look at Caroline's area here, the containers
Owls.
and decor. So, we, Mary, as we already mentioned, she does a lot towards that. And, if you just click on one there, it'll tell you, well, we've got 7 available. So we work hard at making sure that all of the things that we put out there are indeed there. We can go to trees, or you can go and you can break those down further by natives or flowering trees, deciduous, all different categories within the categories. Just go to
Go to that one.
Go to Japanese maples.
Yeah, baby.
That's one that always attracts a lot of attention, and we have an extensive selection year round. We don't. Let's see how many of these $1,000 20-inch box.
4.
We only
got one
We
today.
got one.
Yeah.
And
I
I'm
saw
willing
it.
to bet if you came out that Tsukushi Gata would be here.
Yep.
So anyway, check all that out.
Better be.
Also, a lot of recommendations for the things you might buy with it in order to ensure you do well with it. Those are Earth Mix Garden products, and we are very obviously we're staunch supporters of that product. If you go over to the blog, you get to see the work of Sarah Bates, who.
You click on the Mighty Mites there.
Oh, I didn't. I got to click one more
Yes.
link. There we
Like
go.
a Mighty
And
Maybes.
that will give you the latest newsletter, and also tell you about this week's sale, which is 20% off your entire order. Now, unfortunately, that does exclude Japanese maples and deliveries
Oh, you wouldn't
and
want-
gift cards.
Yeah.
But other than that, to try to make up for that, Josh, we're giving 75% off on 4-inch pots of annuals and herbs. So come in here and stock up.
Yeah.
Get your great deals. This is a great article this week where
It
Sarah
was.
talks about mites, and I don't mean maybe.
I knew that.
Really, a lot of great information on help you how to deal with them in an environmentally, safe way. As it turns out, and if you ever are out here on the lot and see conifers and wonder how that we keep the mites off of them, it's called irrigation.
Yeah, baby.
They don't like being wet. So if you can do the same thing even without an overhead irrigation at your house. Just simply spray them off at least weekly, and that will help you to reduce the populations to a sufficient point without having to use any kind of chemicals at all. So that's the kind of information that Sarah puts out in the newsletter every week. Make sure you subscribe. If you are a Bates Rewards member, chances are you already are, or you can simply subscribe here online. So no matter what you're looking for, be it trees, shrubs, ground covers, perennials, either sun or shade, ornamental grasses, whatever you're looking for, chances are we've got it here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center. And if you come out to see us, you'll see per usual, we're constantly upgrading our facilities to try to give you the very best shopping experience. Soon we'll have our concrete project completed, probably a couple of weeks on that before it's the last section is completed. And then we'll go on to the next thing, whatever that seems to be. So come see us, Bates Nursery and Garden Center. We're located conveniently 1 mile north of Briley Parkway at exit 19 on Whites Creek Pike, which is just minutes from Rivergate Opry Mills, Nashville West, downtown Nashville, and no matter where you're coming from, including Smyrna. And I talked to a gentleman in Caroline's section yesterday who drove from Smyrna had a little cactus, and he says, I drive from Smyrna every time. So,
Oh.
thank you for that, sir.
Best
and
town
thank
in the
you,
state of Tennessee.
and thank you all for supporting what we do here at Bates Nursery and Garden Center, beautifying Nashville since 1932. Bates Nursery and Garden Center. Thank you for giving us a couple of minutes to talk about that.
Well done.
And help take the work out of your gardening efforts. Bring photographs on your smartphone or tablet, and that helps us a lot to have insight into what you're dealing with, and helps us to make better recommendations, because we don't just point.
Ooh.
Oh, we'll take
Break
you
that
over there, and
finger.
we'll tell you all about the options we're going to, and then you ultimately get to choose. So come
Sure
see
do.
us. Well, and we're open Monday through Saturday from 9 until 4. We're closed on Sundays until fall season, so keep that in mind.
Colin, I'll let you know about marigolds. I don't know if we have any back there.
Yeah, I haven't
probably
noticed
Probably
any.
don't. All righty then. It's time. What's in room with Caroline?
With Tyler today.
Yeah, so Caroline said, "Well, you got a lot going on there."
He
Yeah,
sent me a list
and
of
I-
plants he wanted in the green room, and I said, "You know what?
right
You
there
go
in front
ahead."
of you, Tyler, because I know you can see from. Don't look to your left. No,
Dang it, got me again. So I visited this week, took a vacation, visited the Southern Virginia Highlands. And if you haven't been, it's pretty wonderful. Higher altitude, cooler temperatures. It's about the only cool thing that I can get into around here that's not burning up. So I took inspiration, and I say inspiration, from the plants that I saw there in these very high altitude, kind of open mountain ecosystems. And so we're going to start in the upper left corner here with flamethrower redbud. And then if you move to the right behind David, we've got Ruby Falls redbud. That's right. I have no arms, so I can't do the wand. And I did see redbud while I was there. And of course, there's sun and shade environments, and there's also these lovely evergreen trees, which are our Douglas and Fraser firs at higher altitudes. Now, we're at a lower altitude. Those trees won't survive here. So I've included a columnar Norway spruce
Yeah.
to have some kind of evergreen element.
I actually know of a couple of Douglas firs that are in just the right spot
Yeah.
that have survived for a great many years, but no Fraser firs. You'll
no,
never
never.
have one of those here. They just cannot. There's a 0% chance they will. I would give it maybe a 2% chance.
That's
if
why you
had-
see them as cut Christmas trees.
Yes, they're great for that.
Yes.
Yes, and there were tons of Christmas tree farms around where I
Yes.
was at, which were growing them in profusion. However, you could also substitute perhaps a canary eye juniper to have that kind of evergreeny
Yep.
look.
Sometimes
in your
known as
landscape.
canardi.
That's right. And we'll move.
Canadian.
We'll move behind Caroline here. So I'm going to move the camera, but I'm staying in place because I can't move me. So we have Brightwell blueberry.
Uh-oh.
And the blueberry thickets on top of the mountains were 10 feet tall, 8 to 10 feet tall. They were these huge bushes. So some of these I've selected, they're rabbit eye blueberries, and they'll do better here because they have a lower chilling hour requirement. Now, next to that, Caroline, back up one, that is Natchez thornless blackberry. So there's tons of blackberry thickets up there. They do have thorns, but these don't, so you can enjoy and larger fruit. Now, next to that, we have the Tiff Blue blueberry, which is a great variety. And you'll want to plant both Brightwell and Tiff Blue to get some good cross-pollination.
And there's always a lot of good that comes out of planting more than one cultivar of blueberries. We've talked about some of it earlier today. If nothing else, that they don't necessarily flower at exactly the same time. So if you do that, you may mitigate some of the effects of a late frost or freeze if you got more types to choose from.
That's always
I
a good,
digress. Go
good
ahead.
thing.
Yeah.
Good tip.
So now we're going over to what's on down in front. We have,
Oh, my long pointer is
I
on the
know.
other side of the room.
I know, it's okay.
No.
We have black hat rhododendron, and I could not leave out rhododendron from this because when you get into those evergreen trees, you'll see thickets of this, and some of it grows over your head like a tunnel that you can walk through, and it's incredible. And they just finished blooming for the year up there. So they bloom a little bit later than they would down here.
Don't they use the word hail or rhododendron hail?
I haven't heard that, but I could see that because they do drop in profusion on the floor over there. And then getting my focus right. So we're moving to short-toothed mountain mint, which is kind of getting...
we struggle with focus.
I know.
What?
What
I'm
were we
trying-
talking about?
What?
Where are we?
Stay focused. So
Squirrel.
short-toothed mountain mint, we got one that's blooming, but I'm going to pan over to the Rudbeckia, which we have and we feature quite often. And there were some growing wildly kind of on our way down out of the mountains at a little bit lower elevation. And then, there's some mountain mint right there.
Yep.
You can see at the bottom of the screen. That's what you get at the top of that, which is such a nice color, really great for pollinators. And then we've got yarrow up here. And this yarrow is new vintage white. And I love how short it is. And that's it literally was growing like that up on top of the mountain in these little patches amongst this Pennsylvania sedge, which is a lovely native grass. Yeah. Or
Just keep pointing.
Carrots.
We'll-
Just keep going. I went the wrong way.
I'm pointing at my screen, which is hilarious. And then next to that, we have Amazing Daisies, Daisy May Leucanthemum. And there were some little patches of daisies growing. Now, those aren't the exact same ones, but again, I'm taking inspiration here. And so I'm getting this like lovely kind of whimsical, wild look. And then we'll move to our feature plant, which is Jacob Klein Bee Balm. And this Jacob Klein Bee Balm was growing, this bright red was growing near the bright yellow of the Rudbeckia, and it made for a really amazing combo. And that's
There comes
only,
the flower.
yeah, that's,
There it is.
that's only a small taste of what's up there. And obviously there will be other things like
Bunches.
asters and goldenrods coming into bloom later in the season. But I just wanted to share a little bit of the mountain splendor that I got to witness.
Where were you?
Amazing.
Virginia?
I was in southwestern Virginia. So that would be like Damascus, Abingdon, Tazewell, up in that area or down in that area, really, just north of North Carolina. And there's still, the Appalachian Trail goes up through there. There's a lot of great hiking and a lot of scenic stuff up there.
So this is a good excuse for us to give a shout out to Bridget. Hey, Bridget.
Hey, Bridget. Time
And
for your shout out.
Celeste.
And Celeste.
Celeste.
Go by there and see the ladies in the perennial area, which feature many of these items that are on display this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you, Tyler, for taking some days off and doing a work-related
Yes.
vacation. Yeah. Well,
Always about plants.
Well, we're all about plants all the time, and we can't tell whether we're working or if we're not. It's just an area of interest.
Sure is. But these are gorgeous. I have a patch in one of my gardens with Rudbeckia, Jacob Klein Monarda, and short-toothed mountain mint all together, and it's cute.
You guys,
got-
I forgot one. I'm sorry. The southern wood fern.
Yeah,
It's right there.
Right there.
You know
Yep.
what I was going to say,
Yeah.
There it is.
Love 'em. Love 'em.
and it's a great addition to any shade area, and it's just a good looking fern, and it requires, if you just keep it watered,
Yeah.
it
Once it's there,
requires
it's usually
nothing
good.
else.
Stick it in the ground. All right, we have a lot of photos, so let's go ahead and roll into those. Our first one comes from Kay Matthews. Kay Matthews sent this week's garden.
Wow.
Wow. Kay, you have a lot going on.
Yes, she does.
Look at those
At the bottom
figs.
of that email, she was
Look at those
listing off
figs.
some stuff.
Oh, I did not see that.
It's
I
at
think
the
it was
very
fading
bottom.
between the images.
Mine are coming in too.
Mine are not coming in yet.
Wow,
I'm covered up, Carol.
We got
You need to
hundreds.
bring some in.
We
I have
have
3 fig trees and I
hundreds.
have none. You do
The-
too? I'm expecting some. Please and thank you.
Shasta Daisy, Becky in the foreground, balloon flowers gone to seed in front of the container, pink garden phlox, and white hydrangeas in the background. Trunk
What?
of that's at the bottom, that bottom daisy photo that I put up that Kay was describing.
I didn't see that.
It's at the very bottom of the email. There's a lot of stuff in
I'm
there.
saying I didn't see it on here.
Ready?
Oh,
You were reading it, but there
I'm
was no
sorry.
photo.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
makes
that
more
is
sense.
stunning.
Yeah. The red is on the Italian arum. The flower stalks are going to seed.
Beautiful. Kay, you have gorgeous gardens. Our next one comes from Michael. It's more of a problem. Scale on gardenia. Hello, my dad has had this gardenia shrub in a pot that has been infested with scale for years now. He brings it into the garage for winters. It was repotted 3 to 4 years ago. He has been spraying it heavily with neem oil every month, but The pest persists. Any tips on long-term strategy to eradicating the pest to bring this plant back to glory, or should he just continue to treat it and live with it?
Well, scale is indeed one
That's
of the
some
more
bad
difficult.
scale. Yeah.
Now, part of the problem is, and neem oil is helpful. The problem of it is if it had a viscosity rating on it like motor oil,
Yeah.
it would be more like, it would be on the grease end of the scale. That is to say 90 weight. You don't, not using a heavier oil, what oils do, neem oil to some extent, but it's very light. If you use just a regular paraffinic-based dormant oil, and the name suggests that it's in the dormant season, spray that on there, and don't be in a particular rush to get it inside. Gardenias can handle quite a bit of colder weather. They can't handle the worst of the winter, but if you can get that on there, the oils, the paraffinic oils, smother them. And if it doesn't make and this is where we like to talk about, it's so important. You got to really work up underneath that foliage. That's where all the scale exists. So you got to coat all the undersides. You got to do it with the right formulation, and a paraffinic dormant oil is the way to do that. And do it at near the end of the season, and then you can move
October,
it in.
maybe.
The leaves, as the oil begins to, I would say not dry, but kind of cures a bit, they're going to be very sticky.
Yeah.
But that's how you know you're getting it on there.
Don't be afraid to use it either. Spray
No,
it.
and dormant oil is safe for most things.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Oh, scale. I've battled that on quite a few of my plants at my
Either or
house.
cut them back. You don't have to pitch
Mm-hmm.
it. Cut them back and then reflush, and then use your horticultural oils, which are kind of in between neem oil and dormant oil.
Looks like you could use a haircut anyway, just a little bit.
A little haircut, yeah. It's gorgeous. I mean, even with its scale, it is still stunning. Let's shift gears to something a little bit happier. We got something from Emily Boyd. Emily Boyd says, "This is a crepe myrtle I rescued from my neighbor several years ago when it was small.
Look at that.
She was about to throw it in the woods, and I asked if I wanted it. Of course, I said yes, and it seems grateful I rescued it. LOL." That is amazing.
That is stunning.
That is a great case for rescue gardening.
Yep. That's what you want right there. The stems over the fence. Graceful.
Is this the neighbor that she got it from, or is this just
It
somebody?
might be planted on the other side of her.
Because I kind of feel like if it is, it's rubbing it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like look at this. You were gonna throw it in the woods, but now I've got it.
That
It does look
particular
like
color.
it might be the same house, but
I think that particular color this year is the one that is really showing out.
Well, and they are amongst the most consistent,
Yeah.
reliable flower
Beautiful.
producing crepe myrtles.
Look at that bed. Oh my goodness, look at that bed.
Mm.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, Emily, your gardening is stunning. And then our last set of photos comes from Joyce. So let me find that. Okay, Joyce says the eastern tiger swallowtail likes Canyon Creek Abelia as much as I do.
Look at that.
It just started blooming, but even when the white flowers are gone, the peachy bracts make it look like it's still in bloom. That's so cute. I think we
love
had
it.
that in here last week.
yeah, we had some type of abelia.
We did. I think
And
it was
he was
the
eating
peachy.
somebody's dill last week.
Yeah, and now look, he's on Joyce's Abelia.
There you go.
Wow. He flew pretty far. And then the second photo says twins and triplets. Look at that
Oh.
daisy. That is wild.
Yeah,
That's a cool photo, Joyce.
that is cool.
It is.
Got a lot of flower heads going on over there.
Thank you guys for sending all these pictures. Listeners, viewers, if you want to email us any photos, gardeninginsideout@gmail.com is the best way to send those because we can go ahead and get the high resolution photos and images downloaded pretty easily onto mine or Tyler's computer.
We did get some photos from Donna Brooks. I have to throw these in
Did I
here
miss
too.
those?
And while we're
Yeah,
looking, go ahead.
the hydrangea, limelight, tree form, and white wedding.
There you go.
Wow.
Amazing.
White wedding.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That
Terry-
limelight is
Terry said
outstanding.
that she sent some late photos to
Oh, Terry, I
Caroline.
was waiting for him. Let's see.
They're in
Yeah.
Messenger, though.
It's hard to download them from Messenger, Terry, so I'd recommend sending them to gardeninginsideout@gmail.com.
Hey,
If you
I want
can
to
email him.
give a quick shout out to Dr. Lincoln. He's right outside the door
Is he
here
really?
Is he?
waiting, so we're going to get to spend a few minutes after the show with him. And a big shout out to Adam and Rachel Chapman. They're on vacation,
They are.
so
Good for them.
they're not going to get this message.
Okay. They're watching.
I told him to forget he ever knew me.
Post-
for 17
postscript.
days.
Hey, that music means, despite it being Adam and Rachel's anniversary, that this edition is coming to an end.
It is indeed.
Now, next Saturday morning, we're going to come back here on Earth Mix TV.
I might take the week off.
You might.
I might.
I said we. I didn't say the collective we. We're going to be here to do a show.
I mean, the day I got something.
Okay, you got a thing.
I got to go see.
You got a thing,
got a
man.
thing.
I
about
got
a
to
guy.
go to see folks out in Colorado, Rocky Mountain trees.
I think that's a cool thing to do. Wish I was going.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
we would. Well, we'll see what happens. Hey, folks, we appreciate you joining us every Saturday for Gardening Inside Out. Like, subscribe, share, watch for the podcast and the new feature, which we didn't talk about that we need to next week. And we'll see you then, right here from the Green Room.